Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on my channel, and today I'm going to be making a mod showcase of a mod that is very dear to me, a mod that I think almost every ARMA player should at least experience in some point during his playthrough of ARMA. And this mod is called MCC, or Mission Control Center. What it does is essentially gives the player control over aspects of ARMA that are usually locked or unavailable to the player. MCC is usually used only in cases of single player scenarios and campaigns, or if you want to have some fun with your friends but you don't know how to create missions, you don't know how to create zones, it's complicated and it's taken a lot of time for you to make fun missions for you and your friends, then this mod is for you, and it does everything I just said in a matter of minutes. So I'm going to jump into this game. As you can see, we are in the Weferlingen mission map, sorry, I believe. And as you can see, this guy is all there is on the map right now. There is absolutely no other module, no mission, no nothing, only this guy. And I'm going to play this scenario, and I will show you from the game itself how you can use the mod. So stick with me, it's going to be fun. Alright, so now we've loaded into the game, and as you can see, I scroll down, and in the lower and in the upper left side, something green has come up there, and it says MCC. I'm going to press space, and this is the login menu. It tells me that the mission maker is currently not assigned. You can, when you play with friends, log in, create something, log out, and then let your other friends build on what you have created and sort of make like custom co-op missions on the fly, where you create scenarios that you want, or anything basically that you want. The view distance is where you can set your view distance for objects, for map. The grass is for terrain detail. Keep in mind that high makes the grass um, more. It keeps the grass in your sight. You can change this to no grass, for instance, but this means that in no grass mode, if you're going to try and snipe someone from 600 meters or so, you will see them running into the terrain and other abnormalities like that, because no grass means lowest possible terrain detail. So the engine essentially degrades the terrain detail the further you're looking. So in 200 meters you might not see a big impact. In 400 meters you will. In 600 meters, if you look at the mountain and there is an outpost in the mountain, then you will see the buildings are flying in the air and things like that. So it's something to keep in mind. Usually I place it on high and use a separate mod called no grass mod, or lower grass mod, because the no grass mod has having several issues, but the lower grass mod lowers the grass height, so that even when you're lying down you can still fight. Okay, so I'm going to log in. Now it says the mission maker is Deathrage, that is me. There are all sorts of buttons that I can choose and use in this console. There is also a separate command console for MCC that you can control your assets while they have been already created. So it's something to keep in mind, but I'm not going to touch on that here. I'm just going to use some of these features and show you how to use them. So first off, in the top there is mission end with mission complete, mission end with mission fail. Ghost mode means you're essentially invisible to the AI. Spectator, I'm not familiar with it a lot. Teleport means that you and any vehicle and crew that you are in, you can teleport to anywhere you want on the map, just like so. There it is, and I teleport right back to where I was, like so. Spawn is where I spawn units or groups. I choose the faction right here of the units that I want to spawn. Let's say 2035 NATO is the vanilla faction. There it sort of blinked, and now this the unit set or the units of that faction are now loaded, so I can spawn them. I'm going to spawn unit infantry riflemen. And there it is. There's this guy. Hello, good sale. So, anyways, I can spawn single units like that. And usually air units are also spawned in singles. You can see infantry vehicles tracked or static. For instance, I'm using the mod of the Mammoth. Tracked means tanks and APCs and also all sorts of static emplacements. Like that, for instance. this is this is out of place, but it's still funny. Now I can also spawn groups if that faction has groups. For instance, the NATO vanilla faction already has groups assigned. So if I choose tab infantry, I got all the groups that you normally have once you're using Zeus. Rifle squad, weapon squad, anti-armor, anti-air, special ops, recon, sniper, whatever. I can also use special forces, which are divers and UAVs, UGV operators, support infantry, motorized, mechanized ARMA. And there's also this, reinforcements. Now reinforcements is something that only can be used in a zone. What it does, let's first create a zone then. Now we have a zone. And what it does is I choose what type of reinforcements I want. I can use paradrop, small, medium, or large, which means it will paradrop a small amount of soldiers, medium, or large. Drop off means that the helicopter will land and take off. And fast rope is something that is very special to this mod. I'm going to click on the map, set the start location of reinforcement. There. Now it does all that voodoo black magic right over here. And you will see in time a helicopter there. A helicopter has spawned. He is spawned with soldiers. These soldiers are going to drop off at where I told him to drop off, and they will start patrolling this zone automatically at random. They will start uh, giving themselves patrol orders around this zone at random, and they will go and patrol at random until infinity without any player intervention. This is how you can create a sort of mission zone, even maybe, I don't know, a hostile outpost. You can create a hostile outpost where there are soldiers patrolling the area, and you can create them like this. Now this is reinforcements. This is outside there. There's the helicopter. And this helicopter will also... Oh, okay. There you can see sort of deployed ropes, and these guys are fast dropping in. Once it finishes, this helicopter... Oh, he dropped them on the roof. Oh man. Hope these guys don't have a lot of fall damage. Now, this helicopter, once he has finished, he is going back to his starting position, and he is going to despawn automatically. No player intervention is needed. And as you can see, these guys have dropped. He has dropped 3 squads, and as you can see, they have already assigned move orders to themselves. And once they arrive to these move locations, these waypoints, once they finish those, they will set new ones and continue on to patrol this zone. You can see they've also changed their stance from running around in cautious mode. They are now in safe mode, so they're now walking. This is also automatically. I can also spawn units directly to the zone in the same manner. There are groups, infantry, rifle squad, spawn in zone. There, and that's it. Now I can spawn in the zone that is selected. So if I have multiple zones, for instance, if I have zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, the zone that I have currently selected, which is highlighted in a yellowish, like this, in a yellowish color, that is where these units will spawn. And as you can see, they are now going about their business. And this is all there is to know about the spawn groups. One last thing is if you're using a faction that has no groups but you want to have them, you can go to units. There is a name here. I'll say like G1. Sorry, G1. Okay. Then I'm going to add to infantry, let's say, an officer. Add to list. AT specialist twice. Rifleman AT twice. Squad leader. Ammo bearer. Maybe a sniper. Oh, there's even the guys from the story itself, and also lots of stuff right here. Okay, so I'm going to close it, save as custom. Then I'm going to go to groups, and instead of infantry, you can now see there is a custom tab, and in the custom tab there is G1, and I can spawn them. And just like that, these are the guys that from a group that I've just created. They were not existent before, and they exist now. Okay, so this is the spawn. Where? Anyways, so this is the spawn tab. We're going to go off to the other the other tabs here. For instance, there's the CAS air support that you can choose air support to add to MCC console that I've talked about, but I'm not going to show here. Or you can call it in and say where you want it. There's the supply drop, there's artillery, evac if you want an evac for your guys once the mission is completed, IEDs, convoys, brushes, and enable roles I'm not very much familiar with, but it's not something that you should do probably. It's not doesn't seem like it's very important. There is Zeus. Zeus, well, enables Zeus. You can click on it and click anywhere on the map and it will open up Zeus. Arsenal opens up Arsenal for your soldier. Mission settings. Mission settings touches some of the features of the mod like mission setting, UI, mechanics. There's the mechanic of cover, like when you can hide behind cover. Uh, Pretty much like Gears of War. There's a medical system which is different but acts kinda like Ace Medical. Role selection, again, I have no idea what that is. And Gaia settings. Gaia is greater AI awareness. It is an AI mod built into MCC that can control AI units, and you can set from here how much effective, as you can see, how much effective are they going to be in skill, aiming, spotting, commanding. You can also cache distance. Cache distance means that you can have multiple units on the map, but if you don't want all of them to be loaded. So ARMA has the ability to hide units, which means that they exist on the map and in the game mission file, but they are not physically existing on the map. So the game doesn't have the your PC essentially doesn't have to expend resources to simulate them. Okay, but this is sort of like hiding them to reduce to increase, sorry, the performance of the players that are involved in the mission. And setting a range means that once the players are in range, only then these units are going to unhide and materialize and act normal on the map. Okay, so this is to conserve resources for the players and not make the game run on 10 FPS just because you had a big mission that you made for your players. So, disable respawn is something for multiplayer. Set weather, you can set the weather, you can set the time. For instance, you want the night up, then you can set it from 10 to say 2, and now we're at night and I can't see anything. There's the start location, debug, markers, briefing if you want the briefing for your guys. Briefing and tasks are not something that you're going to need, and I will show you why soon. Triggers, jukebox, and client side. Where in client side you can also log out, but you can also log out here. This area is usually for controlling units. So, for instance, I'm controlling this unit, I'm selecting it. It tells me which group it is. This is B Alpha 24, made up of a recon leader, paramedic, and scout AT. I can tell him to teleport, broadcast, live feed for all players for 15 seconds, hijack, which means I can control these guys, track units on mission marker map. I can join the group, I can delete the group, I can force them to parachute, force them to make a helo jump. I can tell them to, for instance, if this group is not part of this zone, for instance, if I'm creating a regular infantry unit, Alpha Free 2. I can tell them to occupy zone, and they should start. Let's have the zone selected. Occupy zone. And what they should be doing is start to. Oh, wow. Who called these guys in? Oh, that's the M119 that I ordered a while ago. And he got blown up. So anyways, this is supposed to make this unit occupy this zone. So they're supposed to start doing it, but they're not for some reason. Anyways, so this is this left. This is essentially what this mod has, but it also has one unique feature that probably is the reason why you are here. Uh, it's, there's the front lines generator. However, I do not really know how to use it, but there is this one, the mission generator. Oh boy. So let's create a zone. For instance, in, I don't know how to pronounce it. If you know how to pronounce it, you're good. Let's say this zone right here. Mission generator on zone 2 or zone 6. Yeah, okay, zone 6. And so I'm going to create a mission over here. This is the rival faction who we are fighting. So we are fighting CSAT. The civilian faction is civilians, if I want. Yes. If I want to have civilians, then it's alright. The more players there is, the bigger the mission, the more enemies there are. Usually you probably want to have more than 2 kilometers away from your actual guys to give the mission maker a lot of space to do whatever, to do the magic that it does. Now you can set for random objectives, free, up to 3 of them. You can set the objectives to precise or area, general markers enabled or disabled, stealth enabled or disabled, which means there is the mechanic of stealth, or once the alarm is raised, reinforcements are going to show up. Difficulty also. You can set, like I said, mission objectives, vehicles at random, armor if the enemy has armor or not, reinforcements random. Let's say artillery, you might want the enemy to have sort of a supporting element in the form of artillery. Intro, you can do a pop-up, none, or cinematic. IEDs, suicide bombers, armed civilians, roadblocks leading up to the objective that the enemy sets up. Animals, let's say disabled. Time and weather don't change. Let's say the current zone. Generate the map. Now it will take quite a while for it to generate the map, but this will end. This screen is closing, and as you can see, he's currently building a mission. Now I can move around. As you can see, created a zone called and a sector captured by CSAT. It is creating it automatically. By the way, these guys that I have created, I did not know that I have created them, but as you can see, they are also patrolling on their own without any player input. So it might take quite a while, but oh, another error. And there it is. Now wait for it.
Operation Solitary Famine. The enemy have established a foothold in the area, and they're using civilian buildings to fortify themselves. You may also encounter technicals or soft vehicles. Be aware that there may be armored vehicles or even MBTs operating the OP. Also, they've established hasty checkpoints on some of the roads leading in and out of the area. Be advised, the enemy have aerial and motorized quick reaction forces nearby. Expect enemy reinforcements should they become aware of your presence. That is all. Go over your objectives. Gear up, get ready. Mission is a go.
This is entirely randomly generated. What you have just seen. The mission, the units that occupy the area of the mission, the checkpoints, the roadblocks, where are they going to hide, if they're going to hide inside buildings or not, if they're going to use reinforcements or not, and what types of reinforcements are available to the guys in that area. Everything is randomly generated. This is the MCC mission generator that you can use essentially anywhere. You can even be inside a campaign, the East Wind campaign, where you go out of your base and you explore the surroundings, and there are some side missions. The people who to the guys who played the ARMA campaign and are aware of what I'm talking about, then this is available even there. You can use it in any single player scenario. And that's it. By waiting just several minutes, you have your guys a new mission to make, and that is it. You can use this mod however you like to create missions, to create scenarios, and look at this. He has created an entire scenario. You got infantry running around between buildings, you got infantry running around inside buildings. This is CQB, and it also looks like it's going to be a hard fight. You got recon elements and not just regular infantry up in their mix. You can also create another zone and even add more units to this place or tinker with it, make gun emplacements and things like that. He detected there is a river in here, so he also created a speedboat, and there is a Ural truck patrolling and a Marid also patrolling over here. And this is probably the reinforcements in the form of so no, this is probably sort of a checkpoint. The reinforcements do not show, but they will probably spawn. There is also a BTR-60 over here patrolling. So as you can see, it's a much varied map. that you can get your guys into, and the easiest thing there is, by the way, to this is that if I check, for instance, this zone and put that zone over there, more like place it over here, then the units patrolling zone 1 will create waypoints in zone 1, but zone 1 is now occupied by the enemy. So the units that I have created there, you see that? So the units that I have created before that are using zone 1 for patrolling are now going to set waypoints inside zone 1, which is currently occupied by the enemy, and there's going to be a firefight. These guys are going to fight it out. So that's it. This is essentially all there is to it, to this mod, but as you can see, that's a lot of stuff to cram into one mod, and I don't know how that this mod does all of the things it does. It's amazing. It's, for me, for a guy who made maybe one mission in ARMA and got tired of it because of all the scripting and the SQF files involved and everything, this to me is black magic right there. I don't know how this guy managed to script and make this mod into what it is, but I am forever grateful that he did what he did. So if you feel that need for a special mod that gives you more control and allows you to have more fun, to squeeze more fun out of ARMA by being a lot more in control and making a lot more epic moments that ARMA is built up for, but you rarely see it in action, then you use this mod and have lots of fun. I'm again forever grateful to SHAY GMAN, which is the maker of this mod, and I hope that you download this mod and use it as well and see for yourselves. This mod, like I said before, if I had to choose one out of the thousands of mods for ARMA that are available in the Steam Workshop, I choose this every single time. So that's it. This is the mod showcase. These guys are going to war. They're going to try and invade the east side of Weferlingen, and they will fight over control of these zones automatically. So I hope you enjoyed the mod showcase. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.